Jeffrey's getting our Vicon spreader out. He wants to spread fertilizer on a couple of the backhoe grass fields that he had the sheep grazing on recently. With the sheep off these pastures now, he wants to promote the regrowth of the backhoe grass, either for when the sheep go back on these pastures, or better still, if the weather permits, we'd like to get it cut for hay. So in this video we're going to show setting up the Vicon spreader on the tractor, and then a little bit of watching Jeffrey spread fertilizer around on the field. He's going to attach it to the 3-point hitch of the tractor. The bottom two links are the lift arms. This is a Category 2 hitch, and the Vicon spreader has Category 1 pins, which are a little smaller, so he's putting these sleeves on the pins so that the lift arm can securely attach to that pin. So the sleeve's gone, and then he moves it up a little bit, puts the lift arm on. Then there's a little pin that goes on that secures the lift arm onto the implement. He then attaches the drive shaft to the PTO, the power takeoff, and then brings down the top link and attaches that to the spreader. There's a screw on the top link that allows you to position the implement up or down, or forward or backward as you move the screw in or out. But that changes the level of the implement and allows you to position it the way that you'd like. So the two lift arms actually lift the implement, and then the top link allows you to tilt the implement forward or backward.
So this is a Vicon small 3-point hitch spreader, and it's got, instead of like a spinning disc thing, it's got this tail piece that goes back and forth and spreads your product out that way. So Dad, why did you buy this particular fertilizer spreader all those years ago instead of a kind of a normal one with just this little spinny disc?
Yes, well, this was one of the first pieces of equipment that we bought long time ago, and that's when we were raising blueberries. At one point we had I don't know, it was 10 to 15 acres of blueberries we were harvesting commercially. This is an early aerial photo of the farm from the very early 1990s. Those are all rows of blueberry bushes. At the time, we had a mechanical harvester that we pulled behind the tractor that enveloped the bushes and had fingers that shook the bushes and harvested the blueberries for us. And they needed to be fertilized, and the most practical way to fertilize it was with a machine like this. And this kind of spreader, it's called a banding spreader. It tosses the fertilizer to the side. So as you're going down a row of blueberries, it'll be throwing the fertilizer to each side of the tractor where the row of blueberries are. So this is what we got to fertilize blueberries. And well, at the time, we didn't have this attachment on it here. That disperses the fertilizer now and spreads it uniformly out behind the tractor. Without that, with just a straight pipe like this, that's how it bands the fertilizer, and you can then fertilize row crops or tree rows of blueberries or whatnot with this kind of a tractor setup. So Jeffrey's attaching these bolts, and you can see how the tube swings back and forth when the fertilizer gate is opened. Okay, that's pretty good. Jeffrey lowers the lift arm, and the implement goes down. Moving that lever arm back and forth opens and closes the gate that allows the fertilizer to come out. We can set the opening size of the spreader with this device here. That sets how far in this bar goes. And we can twist that down and set that to the opening we want. And then with the lever back and forth like this, push back and forth, then we open and close the opening down here. And that's what allows the fertilizer or seed or whatever we're spreading to flow out in sort of a calibrated and controlled way.
On some of this stuff.
And so what we're putting on now is I guess the mixing, or not the mixing head, but something just to disperse the material at the bottom and help it go down through the holes.
Right, they call it, maybe it's called an agitator of some sort.
Yeah, agitator.
It breaks up any clumps that may be preventing the product from just flowing down through these little holes here.
Now it's time to grease everything. In the back of his truck, from the local ag dealer, Jeffrey got a super sack full of granular fertilizer. A full one of these sacks can hold about a ton of material. He doesn't quite have a ton in here, but he's going to use that chain and the backhoe to lift that up and suspend it over the fertilizer hopper. We use a chain to tie the two stabilizing arms of the backhoe together, so when the engine's off and the hydraulics aren't pumping, these arms tend to slip back down toward the ground, and if something's underneath them, that could be a bad thing. So Jeffrey's going to use those hooks on the top of the bucket of the backhoe with the chain to lift that sack of fertilizer and then position it over the fertilizer spreader. height of the arch barn opening is 12 feet. When the backhoe is fully upright, it's higher than 12 feet. So we always have to be careful to lower it when we're going in and out of the arch barn with the backhoe. The height of the inside of the arch barn is higher than 12 feet, so we can bring material in like this, lift it up higher. We're in the shade, and stay out of the sun, and if it rains, we're out of the rain. Now Jeffrey's going to bring the Fiat with the attached fertilizer spreader. He's going to bring that in and position it under the bag of fertilizer. Now Jeffrey needs to untie the opening to the bottom of the fertilizer bag and let the fertilizer out, but not all the fertilizer, just enough to go into the hopper. There's more. He's got several hopper loads of fertilizer here, so he needs to untie that. Then there's a chute that comes down that he needs to untie, and then he needs to be able to close that off before it overflows. So he ties it tight and we're ready to go.
Okay.
So with a full load of fertilizer, Jeffrey starts heading out to the middle field. We'll follow along and watch the process. Jeffrey's in position, ready to get started. He puts the tractor in gear so it's ready, engages the power takeoff to start the spreader cycling, releases the clutch to start moving, and then pulls the lever that opens the fertilizer gate. And off he goes. Thor comes out to see what's going on. And what Jeffrey's doing, he started at the top of the hill and he's going to go back and forth with about a 20 to 30 foot spacing between each pass of the tractor. And that should get fairly uniform spreading of the fertilizer over that distance. Watch out, Thor! I'm going to follow along behind in the buggy here for a little bit. We make a turn at the end of the row here and start the next pass. Okay, well that's probably enough of that. We've been getting a pretty good afternoon rain each day, so that'll help move this fertilizer into the soil where the grass can start using it. Thanks for watching Longleaf Sheep Hill Ranch. See you next time.